Alright, the Q&A asking is over, and I am going to answer the questions that you asked me. This year, if multiple people ask me the same question, I'll only answer it once while still trying to address everyone who asked me questions. As long as they're not spam. AgenticemanRS, also known as Darth Eggman, asks, final thoughts on the Wii U? I think it's done great so far, and I wish it had more fans. I really don't understand why it wasn't as successful as it could have been. AJ Hero 43 asks, why do you like Meta Knight so much? Because he's a cool guy. Aquastarmarine asks, who is your favorite Pokemon champion? Well, just in case you guys haven't played through Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, now's a spoiler warning. Because my favorite champion is Cynthia. Awesome Human 3 asks, do you pose, mate? What kind of poses? If you mean any kind of poses, then sometimes. Azof101 Azzy asks, who is your favorite countdowner? Josh Scorcher. Who is your least favorite countdowner? Probably that one Little Big Planet fan guy or whoever he was who made the top 10 video game bad guys list. Because his countdowns are just weird. I don't hate him as a person and he's probably improved somewhere, but for now I'll say him. Worst commentator? Do you mean of all time or as of currently? If you mean of all time, then that would either be Ricky William Famia or Oliver 88R. And if you're talking about only today, then either David the Ranter for being completely boring and stupid, or, I'm gonna get a lot of enemies for saying this, but Ryan Rhino Mills. Because 95% of his jokes are like, scream, 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 I am so funny. I don't care if you go deaf because I love being the most annoying thing you can think of. What are your thoughts on Joshua Colbyhouse as a content creator? His videos, I'll admit, are not very good. I don't hate him as a person, but I wish he could improve. Do you plan on getting better software like Shotcut? I'm thinking of getting Sony Vegas, but it's extremely expensive. Do you support Azzydash? I have no idea who that is. B. Wesley asks, what's your favorite so bad it's good TV show or movie? Actually, I don't have any so bad it's good TV shows or movies I watch. Theblackserpentbeta asks, what will you do when the sun fails to rise in the morning? I will scream at the top of my lungs to see if I'm dreaming or not, and if I'm not dreaming, I would panic and ask everyone I know what's happening. Blazethemoviefan asked, what's your favorite movie of all time? No contest, Frozen is my favorite movie of all time, hands down. Blobbyrock asks, do you plan to expand your channel in the future or do you plan to stick with top 10s? I'm thinking of making some other types of videos. I got some more Smash Bros. LOL moveset plans. I hope I can find some good commentary material, and if I ever get permission, I might even do my own series of bad episodes or movies like Mr. Enter does. Celianflood asks, Ridley, too big for Smash or not big enough? For me, too big. For the fanboys, not big enough. Cloudsdalespitfire asks, what's the worst drug you have done? I say no to drugs, but if I had to go with any, I'd probably have to say one I might have tried beer before, and even then, that's only a drug if you take too much of it, but it's the closest I have to one. Countdown Bleck asked, how do you aim to reform America's corrupt political system? I would make the copyright law not as powerful to fix the copyright system. I would outlaw Donald Trump, and I would make a law to deem guns illegal. Dan Dragonstar 1988 asks, thoughts on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Haven't read it. Debug McGraw asks, why do you do YouTube? What made you do all the stuff you're doing? I made my channel because I saw so many awesome videos like the Autark's Top 10 lists and CCD's History Behind Smash Bros. Videos, and I thought, maybe I should make one. The Thediamondvoyagers asks, what do you feel about Minecraft? I've only played the version where you can only customize the landscape, which is still fun, mind you. Discount Let's Player asks, what editor do you use? Movie Maker. DisturbedFan2000s asks, what are your favorite bands? I don't really listen to any, though I sometimes listen to songs from Taylor Swift. What is your opinion on the band Disturbed? Haven't seen it. Have you ever been to a concert? If so, what concerts? I can't really remember. I might have gone to some of my sister's concerts before. Who's your favorite YouTuber? Probably Chuck Conroy. Either that or CinemaSins. How was your 2016? Pretty good. I got a lot of videos done. I had a lot of really fun trips. However, it did have a few bumps in it, like the fact that I was stuck in an abusive friendship with backstabbers like Grandmaster Flair and the Guildmaster, who used to be really nice to me, but now they laugh at me every time I ask a simple question. I'm also trying to adjust to my new schedule now that I have a job. Speaking of job, what kind of job do you want when you graduate college? I already have one. I wash dishes at a high school. Dpolaristar asks, Do you do any world buildings in your free time? Yes, I do. I like to imagine myself in a world where video game characters and movie characters are real. And I like to imagine having Pokemon by my side and being married to Elsa. Drakowalker asks, do you have any plans and projects coming up for this channel? I'm planning a top 10 favorite ice Pokemon list, and more Smash Bros. LOL movesets of characters like Mr. Krabs, Anna, and Josh Scorcher. How do you currently feel about this channel's status? I think I'm doing pretty good so far. Floyd asks, do you consider property as a theft? Well, I consider stealing property as a theft. What do you think of cultural appropriation? I don't mind it that much, as long as you don't have any malicious intent, but I can see why some may find it offensive. How is it possible to prosper in a society where capital is valued more than the well-being of life? I honestly wouldn't know how it's possible, since it sounds like it would be kinda hard. Have you read Bordiga? No. Peter Rudy asks, which side of the upcoming race war will you stand on? I know nothing of this. Invalidjudy asks, what's your favorite bowl? Way to act self-important. Sorry, but your wording of that is too confusing for me to answer that question. I can answer it in a comment if you want, if you explain what you mean. Jacob M. Keene asks, which portrayal of Andros is your favorite? Rick May, Duncan Botwood, or David Frederick White? Rick May. Which Smash Bros. Announcer is your favorite? Jeff Manning, Dean Harrington, Pat Cashman, or Xander Mobus? I can't decide. Either Cashman or Xander. Thoughts on Wreck-It Ralph? It's an awesome movie, and it's in my top 10 favorite Disney films. Are you looking forward to Wreck-It Ralph 2? Yes, I am. But I hope they don't wreck it like they did with some of the Disney sequels in the past. It looks like Mario and Luigi might have a bigger role, so it might use the potential of being a video game world better than it did in the first movie. If there was going to be a video game which was a crossover between Star Fox and Buzz Lightyear, would you play it? I bet I would. Least favorite type of fish to look at? Either lampreys or frogfish. Favorite fish to look at? That's a tough one. Probably the blue tang or seahorses. Least favorite type of fish to eat? I can't tell since I don't recall eating any fish that I thought tasted bad. Favorite type of fish to eat? I'd have to say tuna. Jasper Bat Jr. Hater 93 asks, what's your favorite Mario boss? I'd probably have to say the final Bowser fight in Super Mario 3D World. JJ Slider asks, have you still not seen Death Battle? Still haven't seen it. Have you seen any really good anime other than Pokemon? No. Thoughts on Paper Mario Color Splash if you've played it? I think it's pretty good, because it has a better story than the previous games, but I can't stand that horrible Kamek Curse thing. As if it weren't horrible enough in Sticker Star, now I'll haunt you more often. What do you think of the Sun and Moon demo and Ash Greninja? I've played the game, but not the demo. As for Ash Greninja, I think this is an interesting touch. Favorite YouTube commentator? That would either be Scarlet Otaku or, get this, Transformers Fan Code 328. Yes, he's returned to commentaries. Do you like Cool Cat? Because Cool Cat likes you. I see you're making an I Hate Everything reference, but I don't get the reference since I'm not very big on his channel. Would you rather have Super Mario Switch be Mario 64 style or Galaxy style? Galaxy style, for reasons you'll find out when I answer King DDD596's questions. Has your favorite Mega Evolution changed? Nope, it's still Mega Gyarados. Do you watch Night? Not really. If you've seen Steven Universe, what do you think and what's your favorite episode? No, I haven't seen the show. Kevin Storfnaz asks, thoughts on homosexuality? I don't mind it as long as the person they're attracted to is okay with it, and as long as they don't rub it in my face if they're gay. If someone's gay, I also want to make sure that they're not sexist. I'm not saying that all gays are sexist, considering how not all of them are, but you understand what I'm saying, do you? And they better not make Elsa 1 in Frozen 2, like some people are demanding them to for some reason. Like I said, I have nothing against gay people, but why does it have to be Elsa? King DDD596 asks, what is your favorite boss in the video game? Probably Zemnis. What is your least favorite video game boss? Either Young Xehanort or Mother Brain from Zero Mission. Favorite video game of all time? I think Super Mario Galaxy. Any unpopular video game opinions? Well, I think Sticker Star is awesome, I think 3D is overrated, and I love Yoshi's New Island soundtrack. Well, most of it. Opinion on Super Mario 64? I think it's a very fun game, but at the same time, I think it's aged very poorly compared to the 3D games like Sunshine and Galaxy. Opinion on Donkey Kong 64? Oh yeah, that game is awesome. It is my second favorite N64 game, with my first being Ocarina of Time. Opinion on Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards? Absolutely love it. Opinion on Star Fox 64? I think it's good, especially the voice acting. Opinion on N64 games as a whole? I love them because they're classics. Kingdomkeepers asked, favorite and least favorite Smash game? My favorite is Smash 4 for the Wii U, and while my least favorite is the original. Not because the original is bad, but because of how little content it has. Deason asks, what do you want from me? Nothing. Kyukun asks, who is your most liked Sonic character? Sonic himself. What are your thoughts on the Phantasy Star Online and Phantasy Star Universe? I don't have an opinion since I haven't played them. Which ice cream is better, cookies and cream or mint? I hate mint, so I'd have to go with cookies and cream. But that's just me. What's your favorite racing game? Mario Kart 8. Who's your favorite Final Fantasy character? Probably Celeste. Leo12 Scar12 asks, what would life be as an anime? I can't tell. LonelyFanboy48 asks, can you review Wind Waker? No, I don't feel like reviewing it on my channel is necessary. I'd still like to talk about it, but not to make an entire video about it, unless I'm doing Let's Plays, but you get the point. Macks Fiiod asks, favorite sports game? Unless you count Mario Kart, I don't count them. But if it does, I just answered what my favorite racing game is a little bit ago. Favorite film to star an athlete? I actually can't remember watching any movies that star athletes. If you could spend any day with an athlete, who would it be? Probably Michael Jordan. Do you hate black people? Okay, no. There are a few people I hate who happen to be black, but I don't hate them for being black. Do you even hate Michael Jordan? No. What about Kobe Bryant? I have no idea who that is. Why are you racist? I'm not! Mikah Cariglio asks, what's your favorite Josh Scorcher moment? That's a difficult question. It would probably have to be when he went through Atlantica in his Kingdom Hearts 2 Let's Play. It was hilarious watching him talk about the flaws in it. Thoughts on Kirby Planet Robobot? I think it's an awesome game, and maybe even better than Triple Deluxe. What copy ability first introduced to Planet Robobot is your favorite? That would have to be Poison. Mario & Luigi Paper Jam is my favorite Mario game for the 3DS, do you agree? Sorry, but no. I think it's a great game, but... Guys, remember last year's Q&A when I said I was worried that it would be filled to the brim with pointless padding, like Dream Team was with how you spent too much time in the Dream Worlds? Well, unfortunately, it was. In the form of those stupid Paper Toad missions. If you want to know my problem with them, watch my top 15 things I hate in video games list. My real favorite Mario 3DS game is Mario Kart 7. I'm not going to judge you for your opinion, though. Do you think you'll do any projects similar to Blazing Knight's Fire Emblem Fates-a-thon? If it looks interesting to me, maybe. Michael Hall asks, thoughts on Danganronpa? Never played it. Thoughts on Silvagunner? I'm not subscribed to him, but I love it when he uploads songs from different video games for us to hear. Thoughts on Overwatch? Never played that either. Mercy is best Overwatch girl, am I right? Well, no, considering how I answered the last question. Thoughts on Trump being a Hanzo man? I honestly don't know what to think of it. MLPreviews asks, thoughts on the Nintendo Switch? Well, I think it's a great idea, and I'm definitely getting it when it comes out. However, I also feel like the idea of switching between a console and a handheld sounds kind of weird. I don't know. I guess maybe it's because some things are meant to be played on TV screens in my opinion, but maybe that's just me. I doubt I'll like it as much as the Wii U, but I bet it'll be good. Mosslove66 asks, Popeyes or KFC? KFC. Who did you vote for? Hillary Clinton, mainly because of how much I hate Donald Trump. What do you do when the power goes out? I get really mad, but I eventually just use my phone. What is your opinion on ISIS? I hate them with a passion, and I hope that all the morons working for ISIS get shot down. Mr. Wildcard531 asks, why you no play Undertale? It's good, you have not lived until you've played it. While I won't lie, I can see why people like it. Thing is, from what I've seen, the environments are just black and purple as far as the eye can see most of the time. Assuming that the fanboys aren't just showing one area. And the characters are ugly, especially Sans. Nekotorious asks, what was your first video game romance option? That would be Lucina. What mythical creature would you like as a pet? I can't tell. Do legendary Pokemon count? If so, then I would say probably Rayquaza, so I don't have to worry about weather inconveniences, and so I can go wherever I want when I want. Also, because I like something really powerful to protect me from people who try to kill me. Do you have a favorite controller? The Wii U gamepad. How fast can you run? I never really counted. I'm guessing I can run across a straight portion of those Olympic tracks between 25 and 30 seconds. Chow for meow! I don't get what you mean. NES Mario 123 asks, do you play any PC or engine games? Not really. Ever played a Batman game where it's basically Pac-Man but with some slight puzzle elements? No. Nihilistic Snake asks, if you could remake one of your old videos, what would it be? Either top 10 killjoys or hardest bosses. Nobodyman asks, what's your favorite mixtape Gucci Mane released while he was in prison? Never heard of him. Do you have any life advice for my good friend Moss? Yes, I do. Stop trying to play with people's emotions by pretending to commit suicide. Because it's not funny, it's just terrible. What does the 2 in 2-pack stand for? How should I know? Omega Lord 225 asks, Dragon Ball Z or Steven Universe? I haven't seen either, but I probably have to go with Steven Universe. ONES asks, what is the worst video you've seen covering you? Without any doubts, Death Critic's commentary on my 5th degree commentary. It could have been good, but I just couldn't put up with his unbelievable stupidity. Constantly saying that every small thing I said, like he should look it up in a dictionary, even the most polite statements I made, he said I was insulting people. How can you be so stupid? Besides, what makes him any better? He actually was insulting me, which he said is a bad thing to do in commentaries. It's even worse than Oliver 88 Hours commentary on me. Because even though Oliver is the worst commentator, and he was being a complete dunce, being completely biased, trying to make me, Game Dude, Rashitsu, and Supersonic 407 look as bad as possible, and because he was acting like he was superior despite being as smart as Patrick Starr, at least Oliver's commentary was entertaining at times, unlike Death Critics. Please forgive me for being so harsh. It's just that commentary was mind-numbingly bad. Paul AKA Spook asked, what is your opinion on the Mother series? I haven't played Mother 3, considering how Nintendo of Japan still won't send it to us for some stupid reason, but I wasn't that big on Earthbound Beginnings. However, I thought Earthbound was a fun game. How do you feel about Nintendo ignoring Metroid recently? I am really mad at them. Do you read superhero comics or watch superhero shows and movies, and if so, which one? I watched The Incredibles, Big Hero 6, and the modern Spider-Man films. Phantom N asks, who's your favorite Pokemon? Kyogre, as you can probably tell by my intro. Who inspired you the most in countdowns? The Autark. Pikakwan asks, do you watch Italia? No. Platinumtrainer asks, what would you want to see more of in Pokemon? I want to see more species and typings of Pokemon, as well as more side quests, and please bring in a Dark-type gym! Can you name 3 games you'd like to get into but haven't been able to, or had the time? Nice Journey into Dreams, Fire Emblem Gaiden, and Spyro. What games are you hoping will appear on the Nintendo Switch? Mario Kart 9, a new Metroid game, a new Banjo-Kazooie installment, though it'll likely never happen, and most of the Wii U and 3DS games. What are your thoughts on the Candy Crush saga? It's fun. The Pokefan891 asks, are you ever going to give The Binding of Isaac a chance? Sorry, but it doesn't look all that interesting to me. We ever get a PS Vita? It depends on what games are coming out on it. Favorite Family Guy episode? That would probably be Roads to Vegas. Don't know why, it just is. Any Mario game you have no interest in, and why? I'm not interested in the Mario Tennis games because to me it just looks like tennis with Mario characters. There probably are some differences other than power serves, but as of now I have no intent. I also don't plan on playing the Mario History games or Hotel Mario because I've heard terrible stories about them. Why aren't you interested in the Ratchet & Clank games even though you like games with cartoony art styles? You know what? I can't really explain why. Favorite and least favorite Generation 7 Pokemon? Well, this won't be an easy question since the games only just came out last week, but I'll say them out of the ones we've seen so far. So far, my favorite's probably Wishy-Washy. May not seem like much at first, but just you wait until its special ability kicks in. My least favorite would either be Comfy for being an even dumber concept than Klefki and having average stats, or Pyukumuku for having stats made out of garbage. Thepokesaurus asks, have you heard of Monster Hunter? Of course I have. Rowan Akamiya 185 asks, pirates or ninjas? Pirates without question. Thoughts on the Pokemon episode Haunter vs. Kadabra? I think it's debatable. On one hand, it has its moments of charm, especially from Haunter, and the fight between Pikachu and Kadabra is pretty nice. But on the other hand, the title is completely misleading. I want to see Haunter battle Kadabra, instead it just abandoned Ash even after it promised to help him. And don't give me the you can't have what you want in life excuse. That doesn't mean you have the right to support false advertising. Ever played or heard of Earthworm Jim? I've heard of it, but I have no intent of playing it as of now. Please try to understand my opinion, but I think it looks dumb. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I have a sister. Any plans on playing Dusk and Elysian Tale? Not as of now. Heard of the web show Sonic for Hire? Yes, but I've only seen the Kirby one. I've been meaning to watch more episodes of it. Which game do you prefer, Sonic 2 or Sonic & Knuckles? I've only played Sonic 2. I personally like Sonic 3 more, But I haven't played Sonic and Knuckles, but I would probably guess that I would prefer that. Rubydazzle asks, what caused you to give yourself the name you have? Ugh. I can't believe I'm explaining this for like the bazillionth time, but I understand this person hasn't seen my other Q&A videos, so Meta came from Meta Knight, and if you're wondering why I use Meta Knight, I'll explain at Pokemon A's question. The 527 is just random numbers, and the second part comes from the fact that this is my second account. Note to self, put where I got my username from in the description of my channel, so that no one ever has to ask me that question again. Sulking100 asks, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Probably working in a food prep position, and being a bit better in my videos, and I might even have a Sony Vegas, but who knows? SonicDude1 asks, PS4 or Xbox One, which do you think is superior? I haven't played either, but I've heard terrible stories about the Xbox One, so I'd say the PS4. Sporister asks, there is a shocking new trend going on, in which people perform sexual acts on bus drivers instead of paying for transport, but then proceed to walk anyway. What are your thoughts on this matter? Really? People do that? That's just terrible! Super Fawful Brothers asks, what Pokemon Go team are you on? Team Mystic. Supersonic Lucario 01 asks, game series you want to get into? I'd like to get into Knights, Spyro, Billy Hatcher, and Rayman. Tanner Zuzga asks, do you listen to 99 Lives? No. ToteraFan5676 asks, what's your favorite Kirby game? Kirby's Epic Yarn. Transformers Fancode 328 asks, well, since your deadline is November 25th, even though it's actually the 24th, but that was my fault since I gave the wrong date. How are Pokemon Sun and Moon? They're pretty awesome so far. They have great new Pokemon and a lot of improvements, but I hate Team Skull. Compared to other criminal teams, Team Skull is just a bunch of geeks. Vittorio Pugblees asks, could you please remake your hardest bosses list? Actually, I was already thinking of doing that. But since I need to beat some of the bosses I'm trying to beat in order to break the tie of which bosses I think are harder, I'm going to wait until I beat them. Are you going to play Xenogears, the Metal Gear games, and Chrono Cross? Xenogears? Maybe. If the game looks fun, I will. Doubt they'll be as good as Xenoblade Chronicles, though. Metal Gear, I'm thinking of possibly getting them someday. I just hope they're appropriate enough for me. Chrono Cross? On one hand, I absolutely adored Chrono Trigger, and I wish I could have another epic adventure like that, but at the same time, I've seen Chrono Cross from Lucagen's channel, and it doesn't look like it'll be as nice as Chrono Trigger, but maybe looks are deceiving. It'll probably grow on me. Wolf Vibe Shazy asks, what game do you believe needs a sequel the most? Any Metroid game. I want Samus to redeem herself. XD Pixel asks, have you ever played a Shin Megami Tensei game? No. YodaWiz asks, if you play any games other than Nintendo, how do you think about Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out this fall? I haven't played any of the games, so I wouldn't know. But I guess it's a good thing that it's coming out, since at least fans of the franchise will be happy with it, as long as it doesn't disappoint them. ZPokemonFan asks, who was your main in Smash Bros. And Smash Bros. Melee when Meta Knight wasn't a playable character? It was Pikachu without a doubt. Have you played Hyrule Warriors Legends? No, but I've played the original Hyrule Warriors. Are you excited for Breath of the Wild? Yes, I am, as you'd know if you saw my anticipated games list. I bet it'll be awesome since it's Zelda, but I'm dreading the Oregon Trail stimulation, since it looks like it'll constantly interrupt the game. Best and worst game you've played for the first time this year? So far the best is probably Fire Emblem Fates or Pokemon Sun and Moon, while the worst is probably Pokken Tournament for being a button masher. I've heard some say it's not that bad online, but by the time I heard that, I already sold my copy of the game, so I wouldn't know. Are you a fan of Big Bang Theory? Yes. Which game did you get, Pokemon Sun or Moon? Pokemon Moon. If you could pick any location from any video game to celebrate the Christmas holidays, where would you go and why? I'd say the Pokemon universe. Do you have Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2? No. What made Meta Knight your main in Smash Bros? Nothing really, just because I thought he was a worthy opponent in Nightmare in Dreamland, so I decided to have him as my main. Do you watch Yu-Gi-Oh? No. Do you watch Yokai Watch? No. Well, thank you for listening. I hope that I didn't get too controversial at times. Hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you learned something about me. And I am Matter527 II, and happy Thanksgiving!